Hello everybody. Today I am going to describe about the important chytrid fungus Syncytium. This Syncytium is the member of Chytridium mycotona and family Syncytiaceae. This genus is represented by about 200 species from all around world, and from India 80 species have been reported. The Syncytium affects the algae, bryophyte, pteridophytes, and different flowering plants. And there is a very well known species of a Syncytium known as a Syncytium endobioticum, which causes the black bot disease of the potato. So in this lecture, I will describe about the life cycle of Syncytium, its reproduction, the disease caused by it, and it's a control measure with reference to the Syncytium endobioticum, which is the causal organism of the black spot disease of the potato. The vegetative structure of the fungus is made up of a unicellular thallus, which is a holocarpic kind. You know the holocarpic thallus means the thallus in which the entire vegetative unit is converted into the reproductive unit at the time of reproduction. Basically, there are two category of fungus. One is a holocarpic and another one is a eucarpic. In the eucarpic fungus, only a part of the thallus is converted into the reproductive unit at the time of reproduction. But in case of holocarpic fungi, the entire vegetative unit is converted into the reproductive unit. So, and this fungus is an endobiotic kind because it complete its life cycle inside the host cell. That's why it is known as an endobiotic and holocarpic, and it is a unicellular and naked kind of a fungus. The reproduction in this fungi takes place by two ways, asexual and sexual. The asexual reproduction takes place during the favorable environmental condition when there is a sufficient moisture and cool climatic condition, while the sexual reproduction takes place during the dry environmental condition. When the environment is dry, then the sexual reproduction occur. The asexual In the asexual reproduction, there are basically four phases: the infection, prosorus stage, germination of prosorus, and formation of the sporangia. So this diagram shows the different successive stages of the asexual reproduction. So, how does process of asexual reproduction starts? The asexual reproduction basically takes place by means of a zoospore. These zoospores are formed in the zoosporangium, or the called a resting sporangium, which remain buried in the soil during unfavorable environmental condition. And when the environmental condition becomes suitable, then then the zoospore come out of that resting sporangium and infect the crop. The resting sporangium are formed during the winter season, and this resting sporangium remain buried in the outgrowths formed by the fungus. Before describing this process of asexual reproduction, I would like to describe about the symptoms of the disease caused by this Syncytium endobioticum. This fungus mainly causes the wart-like growth or cauliflower-like growth on the tuber, and it basically affects the underground part of the plant. But in the severe case of infection, it affects the aerial part as well. As you can see in the diagram, this is the wart-like or cauliflower-like growth caused by fungus. This kind of structure is formed by due to the huge number of cell division and increase in number of cell and size of the cell. This hypertrophied or wart-like growth is formed, which is known, that's why it is known as a black wart disease. And you can here also see the warts formed on the surface of stolons and the stem. And since this fungus due to infection caused by the fungus, they occur hypertrophy and hyperplasia that I will describe in I will describe later. So the resting sporangia, which I was telling, these remain embedded in this wart-like growth, and they remain embedded in the soil during the unfavorable environmental condition. Means if the weather is dry, but as soon as the environmental condition becomes suitable and crops are grown in the field, then the resting is juice pores come out of resting sporangia. The resting sporangium, also known as a winter sporangium, absorbs moisture and juice pores are liberated. Now this juice pore, as you can see the structure of the juice pore, it is a uniflagellated, and the flagellum is inserted on the posterior surface. It is a unicellular and naked kind of a naked structure. And flagellum is of weapless kind. There is no mestionium over the surface of this flagellum. Now, this juice pore will infect the host cell. It mainly enters inside the host epidermis. So, at the time of infection, this juice pore withdraws its flagella. It undergoes encystment. It makes cyst, and after that it makes a peg like tube or penetration tube through which it penetrates the host epidermis. Now the entire content of the fungus of this pathogen will in protoplasmic content of this fungus will enter inside the host epidermis. What next will occur? There will be increase in the size of nucleus and protoplasmic content of this parasite, as well as there will be increase in the size of host cell. There will be increase in the adjoining cell of the host cell, which as a result will result in the formation of this rosette light. This is called hypertrophy. Hypertrophy is what? That is increase in the number of cells that is caused by the infection by fungus. Due to infection caused by pathogen, their adjoining cells of the host tissue increase in its size. Now this parasite nucleus of this parasite increase in size, and there occur formation of two wall around it, known as a exospore and endospore. Now at this stage this is known as a prosorus, or sometimes it is also known as a sorus. Now prosorus will undergoes germination. Here this diagram is showing the germination of prosorus. At the time of germination there occur formation of vesicle from this prosorus, and the entire content of the prosorus will come out in this vesicle. At this stage this prosorus is having 32 nuclei, and all the nuclei will come out in this vesicle. Now this vesicle, all the protoplasmic content of the prosorus will come in the vesicle, and it will its protoplasm will be will be divided into 4 to 9 protoplasmic segments, which is known as a juice sporangium, and this entire structure is known as a sorus. So sorus is basically the group of juice sporangium, and there are sometimes in this diagram you can see there are 5 juice sporangium. So in different species it varies, about 4 to 9 juice sporangium are formed inside each sorus. Now this sorus is finally at that, if the environmental condition is suitable, then the wall of the sorus will break down due to pressure caused by increase in the size of host cell, and its wall will break down, and entire sporangium will come out, and sporangium will be released. And this so you can see here how this process starts. The process of asexual reproduction starts with the infection of the host with the juice spore, and it will end with the release of the juice spore. And the if environmental condition is suitable, if there is a sufficient moisture and cold weather condition is there, then this juice spore will again infect the crop plant, and this process will be repeated again and again. So it will result in the destruction of the potato crops, and the entire crop will be damaged due to the infection caused by this pathogen. So let me describe it again. The process of the asexual reproduction takes reproduction occur in the during the favorable environmental condition, when there is a sufficient moisture and cold climatic condition. At that time, the juice spore is released from the resting sporangia, which remain buried in the soil or in the remain buried in the tissue of the host. It comes out and it infects the host. It enters in, its contents are entered inside the host epidermis, and it will undergo increase in size, and it will also induce the increase in the size of the host cell, that is called the hypertrophy. So basically the infection of the juice spore causes increase in the number of size of the adjoining host cell, which is called the hypertrophy. And what else occur, the all the adjoining cells surrounding the infected tissue become dead. And now this pathogen whose nucleus and cytoplasmic contents are increased in size, their nucleus will also undergo division, and it will be divided into 32 nuclei. And this 32 celled structure is known as a prosorus, which have a two wall. One is endospore and one is a exospore. And this prosorus now will undergo germination. At the time of germination, there will be the formation of vesicle, as you can see in the diagram, and entire content of the prosorus will be transferred into this vesicle. Now this structure now this structure is finally divided into the different protoplasmic sections, about 4 to 9 protoplasmic section, and each protoplasmic section will be further converted into the juice sporangium. And this entire structure is known as a sorus, which is a group of a juice sporangium. Now if the if the suitable environmental condition is available, like if there is a sufficient moisture and cold climatic condition, then this sorus will further wall of sorus will burst, and all the sporangium will come out, and it will release the juice spore, and that juice spore will again infect the crop plant. I think you must be now clear about the process of asexual reproduction. Now what happens in the sexual reproduction? Sexual reproduction takes place when there is no suitable environmental condition for the infection. Basically, if the environment is dry, then the sexual reproduction takes place. So what happen in the sexual reproduction? In the sexual reproduction, in the sorus, as I have explained you, instead of juice sporangia, there occur formation of the गैमेटेंजिया. अगर इन्वायरमेंटल कंडीशन सुटेबल नहीं होती है, तो इस सोरस में इस स्पोरेंजियम की जगह, जूस स्पोरेंजियम की जगह गैमेटेंजियम का फॉर्मेशन हो जाता है. नाउ दस गैमेटेंजिया विल रिलीज द gametes, and these gametes are known as isogametes, since they are identical to each other. And these gametes are very similar to juice spore. They are only little smaller in size than juice spore. As you can see, these are also posteriorly flagellated naked cell, and they will undergo fusion. And one more thing, the gametes from the different gametangia of the release from the different gametangia of the same sorus undergoes fusion, and they will form the biflagellated zygote. Now this zygote will again infect and penetrate the host cell. At the time of infection, it will withdraw its flagella, it will undergo encystment, and its nucleus and protoplasmic content will increase in size, and the adjoining cells of the host tissue will undergo increase cell division, and that process is called hyperplasia. In the hyperplasia, there is increase in number of cells due to huge number of cell division. So what you have seen that in case of juice pore infection, in case of asexual reproduction, there was formation of hypertrophic cells, means there was increase in the size of cells, while in case of sexual reproduction, there is increase in the number of cells due to increase in the rate of cell division. And this structure is now known as a resting sporangium or winter sporangium, from where this process of asexual reproduction was started. Now this remain resting sporangium will remain buried in the soil until there is a suitable environment condition become available. And once environment becomes suitable, there is a cold and moist environmental condition, this resting sporangium will undergo germination. Its protoplasm will make juice spore. And during formation of zoospore there occur meiotic division. Therefore the zoospore which are formed are haploid in nature. Since this zygote and this resting sporangium is formed by the fusion of two isogametes, therefore their ploidy becomes diploid. Therefore at the time of zoospore formation there occur meiosis to maintain the number of chromosomes. Now the juice spore will be released from this sporangium after absorbing the moisture. Juice spores are released, and this juice spore will again infect the crop. So here I will explain the both asexual and sexual phase together. So as I had explained you that if humid environmental condition is there, if the environment is suitable, it is cool and moist, then from the then in the sorus there will be formation of the juice sporangium, and from that juice spore will form. This juice spore will affect the host plant. There will be formation of prosorus. This prosorus will undergo germination, and it there will be 32 nuclear stage, and after that there will be more nuclear division, and the protoplasm of the prosorus will be divided into the 4 to 9 protoplasmic sections, and each section will be ultimately converted into the juice sporangium. And in the juice sporangium there will be again occur formation of the juice spore, and juice spore will be released if the environmental condition will be suitable. If environmental condition won't be suitable, in that condition, if the environment would be weather, then in that condition there will be formation of the gametangium, and inside gametangium there will be formation of gamete. They will undergo fusion. There will be formation of zygote, and this zygote will again infect the potato tuber, just like juice spore, and it will again undergo formation of the resting sporangium, hyperplasia, and again the resting sporangium will undergo germination, and by the process of meiosis, and there will be formation of the zoospore. So this is the entire life cycle of the syncytium. There is a two major difference in the asexual and sexual phase. Asexual phase takes place during favorable environmental condition, and sexual cycle takes place during unfavorable environmental condition. Asexual during favorable, and asexual during unfavorable environmental condition. During asexual phase there is formation of zoospore, and during sexual there is formation of gamete, and during asexual phase zoospore causes hypertrophification of the cells, while during sexual reproduction gametes causes hyperplasia. So these are the basic differences which between the asexual and sexual phase of this fungus. Now the disease symptom, I have already explained about it. There is a formation of cauliflower like outgrowths or wart or tumor due to the increase in the number and size of the cells, and the resting the sporangium remain embedded inside these tissues, and they remain buried in soil as well, and this is the formation of tumor like growth on the stolons and the stem of the host plant. So, what are the control measures of the disease? As such, there is no any particular control measure. Once disease has happened, then it become very difficult to control the disease. So, just to prevent the disease, very prerequisite is to follow the strict quarantine practices. The protective tuber should not be taken from the disease area. You know, this disease is very prevalent in the Darjeeling and in the Nepal. So, from that reason, normally the procurement of the seed is avoided, and the diseased potato tuber should be discarded, and soil should be subjected to some treatment like steam sterilization and application of certain stimulants like mercury chloride, copper sulfate, formalin. But these things are very costly. So, most efficient way, far as my knowledge is concerned, the most efficient way is the development of disease resistant variety, as I have explained in my earlier lectures in relation with other fungal pathogen. Most efficient ways is the development of disease resistant variety and cultivation of this disease resistant variety continuously for few years, so to avoid the growth of this fungus. So, during my this lecture, I have described about a fungus, Syncytium, which is a member of Chytridiomycotina. It is a unicellular fungus. Naked, it is endobiotic in nature because it lives in the host epidermis. It completes its life cycle inside host, cytoplasm, and and it is a holocarpic kind of fungus in which entire vegetative unit is converted into the reproductive unit at the time of reproduction, and it multiplies by asexual and sexual means. Asexual reproduction takes place by zoospore and sexual reproduction by means of a gamete, and there occur planogametic copulation between the two isogametes. And the symptom of the disease is the formation of wart like or tumor like or cauliflower like outgrowth, and which is due to the hypertrophied and hyperplasia caused by the pathogen. I think you must be now clear about the entire life cycle, symptoms of the caused by the pathogen, and what are the control measures. For any query, any confusion, you can come to me through my channel. And if you like my lecture, then please don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.